and welcome to Soft Pastels 101. My name is Linda Merchant Pierce, and I will be guiding you through working on a soft pastel painting, some of the materials that you might find, that you might use, health and safety for soft pastels. And during this portion of the video, we're going to be mainly talking about getting started. Okay. In future episodes, we will be talking about some demos. I'll be doing some demos in the video, and we will walk through that. So for soft pastels, if you think about chalkboard chalk, soft pastels are very similar to that concept, but they're much more highly pigmented. They range from hard soft pastels to ultra soft pastels, and you'll use a range of those hardnesses for different reasons in your soft pastel painting. Okay. My workhorse pastels are made by Rembrandt. Okay, these are a medium hardness pastel, and they basically will do pretty much an entire painting from the initial stages all the way to the final details. These are my workhorse pastels. We have Mount Vision, and these are much softer. This is Unison pastels, also very, very soft. Again, with the softer pastels, you'll get much more luscious colors, much more intense, much more highly pigmented, but you really don't need a lot to get the effects that you want as you're working. Okay. These are Cherry Ludwig pastels, again very soft, but also very pleasant to work with. Okay. You can also get soft pastels in pencil form. So I have a few brands of soft pastel pencils that I'll be showing off in just a moment. We have the Derwent pastel pencils, which are, and these ones came in a lovely case. So there's these. We also have Carbothello. These are made by Stabilo. And again, pastel pencils, many different colors. A lot of these colors you'll find in your pastel sticks too. And you want to use pastel pencils for, a lot of times I'll use it for laying in the drawing, or doing final edge details of a drawing. Okay, so pastel pencils are actually quite valuable to use during your painting, because a lot of times with the sticks, you might find the sticks to be too chubby, too fat and chubby to get into the details that you're looking for. Okay. And now I'm going to talk about papers. So if you go to a regular store, you'll see the Canson Mitientes, or some of those other papers that they're advertised as pastel paper, but I think you'll be highly disappointed if you try to use pastels in the manner that we're talking about here to use those. I recommend something called sanded paper, and if you think about your hardware store sandpaper, it feels a lot the same. Okay. There's several different brands. Some of them may or may not still be in business, but sanded paper is what you want. My preferred paper is La Carte Pastel. This is by Sennelier, and it's actually made with a vegetable particle. Okay, it's sanded paper, but very, very fine. Okay. And one thing about this paper is you can't get it wet. So if you apply moisture to this paper, it will dissolve the particles, and you'll have a big white spot in your painting. This here is Color Fix paper. This is by Art Spectrum. Most of these come in a variety of different colors. So you can decide what will work best for your painting as you're developing it. A lot of times you'll choose a color that kind of complements the scene that you're developing. We also have Wallace paper, and with both the Art Spectrum and the Wallace paper, it's been developed so that you can actually use wet techniques on these. So you can apply like a water wash, and you actually use the pastels very similar to watercolors. Let that dry and then do regular pastels on top of that. Or some people actually do like an alcohol wash as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use these papers in developing soft pastels. The reason why you want to use a sanded paper is that you can get much more depth in your layering of your pastel painting. As you can see, this is a painting that I did in class a while back, and you can see that the colors are really deep. You can get really photorealistic quality in your work, especially if you use a sanded paper. And the reason being is that if you imagine that these are the sand particles of the paper, the pastel, the initial layers will fall down into the grooves of the paper, and you're going to be building these up. And then when you get to the final up here, that's when it'll become blendable. But because you can add so much pastel to the paper, it will, you just have much more range of blendability and color range. So yeah, sanded paper is good. Let's see here. So I will be doing some demos of probably next week, and I'll be uploading those as well. We're just going to talk a little bit about health and safety as well here. One thing that's really tempting, and in all of the classes everyone has this issue, it's so tempting to do, is to blow on your work. So you have your pastel painting that you've been working on, and you see that there's dust on, the dust has accumulated on the picture, and you really want to blow on it. You want to go. And unfortunately what that does is that sends the particles airborne, and you will start choking, you will start coughing, and everyone else in the room will as well. And it's not pleasant to get in your lungs. So there are ways that we manage trying not to get the pastel dust airborne. One way that we do this, and we'll do this in class as well, is we'll have our pastel painting on a board, and we will flip it over like so, and then we will tap the board, and the particles will fall into the trash can. Okay, this is a way to save everyone's lungs, and that will clear off the dust for your painting in the future. All right, so next time we will start a painting. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and we will go from there. So thank you very much. I'm Linda Merchant Pierce, signing out.